One day, I was eating some peanuts when I thought to myself, I wonder what would happen if I tossed one in soil. But then something else dawned on me, and I thought, what if I were to get some of the peanuts from In-N-Out and a tub of crunchy peanut butter and turn this idea into a full-blown experiment to see what would happen and whether or not we could grow 3 of the wackiest peanut plants to ever exist? Well, you already know that's the moment I turned my kitchen into a peanut science lab. I decided to first start with these raw peanuts. I removed the outer layer of darkish red skin, got a little pot of soil, poked some holes with a pen, and dropped the peanuts right inside the soil sinkhole. I covered them up, watered it, and placed it by a sunny spot near the window, and to my surprise, after just 7 days, our peanut really did start to grow. And it was so cool to see the peanut split open and growing some green sprouts right out of it, something I had never seen before. And as the weeks passed, I watched as our peanut plant grew, and once it was pretty big, I repotted it and waited some more. I stuck some forks in the soil to make sure no squirrels came to eat it because they don't like the sharp edges of the forks. And then I noticed something weird. The leaves looked like they were closed at night, but in the morning they would be open again. So I decided to add a time-lapse camera to see the peanut growing in real time. I needed to know what was really going on behind the scenes, and I saw something that truly amazed me. The peanut plant was dancing and the leaves were opening and closing based on the sunlight that they were getting. So at night, the leaves would close as if they were going to sleep, and in the morning, they would open back up again, and it was the coolest thing to bear witness to. I learned it's actually a process called phototropism, meaning the peanut flowers subtly move throughout the day in response to light, and to conserve its energy, it drops back up in darkness. So anywho, as those grew, I went on to experiment number 2. Of course, I went to In-N-Out and got a burger, and then I took the peanuts that came on the side home and got to work. I cracked open the shell, popped out the peanut, removed the outer layer of darkish reddish skin, and soon I noticed that the color of these peanuts were a lot darker than the raw ones in experiment number 1, and in that moment, I was worried that they were roasted. And so it will make it harder for them to grow, if not impossible altogether, but you already know that on this channel we try what's difficult. And I've grown dehydrated fruit before, so I was determined to try it anyway to see if it would work. I placed the peanuts right in some soil and waited for months. But the only thing that happened was that my soil turned white. So I left them for a little longer, hoping they would grow, and while I waited, I moved on to the last part of our experiment, crunchy peanut butter. I spooned out a hunky chunk of peanut butter and spread it out on a piece of paper towel so I could begin the extraction process. I got my handy dandy tweezers and put my archaeology hat on, and before I